Hello and welcome back to another episode of this FM21 Builder Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. We're back for part 88 today and things are getting a little bit tight. We've got a Europa League match against Sarajevo, having played Club Bruges already, the favourites to go through with us, and we'll have a look and see how that's been getting on. And then we face TNS, who at the moment have an identical record to us in the league, albeit we've played 2 games less. But so far, just 2 drop points for each of us, and TNS have started strong again. We've had a few injury problems, we lost a few late on in the window, and actually this season's becoming a bit of a chore. We've had to promote some under-18s players just to keep the squad afloat. So if you're looking forward to finding out if we can still manage and what's been going on behind the scenes, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories. There's loads of other special bits as well, links to all the playlists in the eye above. And of course you can find the Twitch channel with live streams in the description below. But a massive thank you for watching, for your continued support, as we go back and have a look at the end of the transfer window with Bangor City. We left it one day before the end of the window, and basically there was one big out. Callum Maguire forced his way out. We sold him for about 8 grand, got him back for 80, and now we've lost him for free. No sell on, no nothing. He just wanted to go, and he was causing so much trouble. And I feel he contributed a bit to the problems in Europe. So he's gone to Colchester. He's playing in League One. He's doing a good job. He's got some assists. And then what happens? We'll find out in a moment. I'm sure you noticed the injury on the home screen. We've also loaned out a youngster to Colwyn Bay. Of course, a club that have become synonymous with my first ever experiment on the Sunday series. You can catch that one up in the eye above. But Warren Bell's gone there. Looks a decent young player. I just hope he develops, in truth. We did sniff around a few players, but none of them were really going to improve us. So in the end, we just promoted a couple of youngsters. And then the injuries hit and we started to regret it. So if we go and have a look at the medical centre, not long after we got rid of Maguire, Ben Cottrell gets a 2 to 3 month hip injury, the same injury he broke down with about 2 summers ago. I feel like that might be the end for him physically. So this season we'll see it out, but we have got a player in the under-19s who is just about ready to take over. So hopefully this season that'll be a positive. We've had Holding out for a month as well. Lloyd's just back from 6 weeks out. Badebo's back from 6 weeks out. And Hankins had 1 or 2. So we really have been the last month 4 or 5 players short. It's been really unpleasant. However, we've been able to promote some players. And largely, we've not suffered too much. Having said that, we did lose our first Europa League group stage game. We dominated against Club Bruges. But we lost 1-0. And it's a familiar name up front. He used to be a real good player in Football Manager. He's been at Wigan in real life. He's been at QPR. He's been at Fiorentina. Some big clubs. And of course, he's on the books officially in real life. At Brighton, I believe, still. So he is a good striker. You can see the quality he's got. He's on 15 grand a week. And we can't begrudge losing to that side. If we beat Sarajevo and Legia Warsaw, it won't be a worry. But our job here is to make sure we're third, which is absolutely essential. Or in second, ideally, to get through to the Europa League after Christmas. But let's have a look at the results in other competitions. You left me after those disappointing 2. We played Newtown off camera and drew 1-1 before losing the second leg of the Champions League playoff. We bounced back with a comfortable professional 2-0 win at Barry. It was Weaver and Pringle who got goals after the hour mark. A big 5-0 win followed at home to Swansea Uni. It was Duffy, Brooks, Riley, Pringle and Cottrell with 1 each. A 2-1 win as we turned it around at home to Ayr United in the SPFL Trust Trophy. An early own goal from Morgan boys. But the late show came. It was John Price and Elliot Andrew in the last 10 minutes as we turned it around with a rotated side and won 2-1 on the day. That led us a tie against TNS, ironically, which we might see a bit later on in the season. Then came the craziest game of the series. After 34 minutes, we were 5-0 up against Aberystwyth, having scored 3 penalties. Something I don't think I've seen at any point of this series. We then somehow managed to let in 4 goals to bring it back to 5-4. Owen McMinamy, our former youngster, got a hat-trick. And then Chris Broom had to turn up with a 6th. Then he went off in a strop after the team talk because we hinted they were unprofessional in the second half. Holding went off injured in that game as well, just to give you an idea of the games he's missed. We followed it up with a 2-0 win against Carmarthen, a missed penalty for Cottrell, who of course is not going to be playing for a few months now, but an early Elliot Andrew brace did the job in that one. The 1-0 defeat against Bruges we've looked at, followed by a cup win in the League Cup. That was Andrew and Cannell with a late penalty for him. And then a 5-1 win against rivals Barla. We really found some form. 4 goals for Joe Duffy, 1 for Elliot Andrew, and an injury for Jack Hankin. Macaulay Flanagan, another one of our former youngsters, got the goal for Bala, still a good player at this level. But going into the Sarajevo game without a big injury, with a few players not quite match fit, I'm a little bit concerned. The fact that we've then got to play TNS twice in a week, we've got Legia Warsaw, which is a big game. I don't know what we prioritise at this point. I feel like, potentially, we're going to have to give away some of the big games, but I don't know which trophies to sacrifice yet. Today's performance will probably determine that. Let's go and get into the Sarajevo game. We've talked about them briefly when we were in the draw. They've not got any real players. They're all greyed out, but they are of a good quality. If we just hover over a few, you can see they're consistent. The attributes 10, 11, 12. They're probably as good as us, particularly there. Ilinkovic looks as good. So this could be difficult. Might be a problem. Is the goalkeeper weak? It's the one thing I noticed with this side. The keepers are often weak in the greyed out teams. So fingers crossed Greg Pringle can find some form again. Because so far this season, we've probably been more reliant on Joe Duffy in truth. Let's go and pick our 11, a few changes to be made. We'll be back in a minute to run you through the team. So very quickly, before I run you through the 11 for this game, let me just show you the two that we've promoted. The main one, and the one who will be our backup number 10 next year I think, is Carl Lacey. 2-star ability, 3.5 potential. It's a really good number 10. Natural as an attacking midfielder. Decent on the ball, but very good mentally and physically. He's got a professional personality, keeps his passing game simple, and is training exceptionally. He made his debut earlier this season. He's now played a game off the bench in the league as well. So 2 appearances for him, and touch wood, he'll continue to improve. The other one is a right back, Kean Burgess. He was because Keegan Riley and Hankin got injured at the same time. Not quite the same level, but still 3.5 star potential, a good personality. He's a little bit younger, just a couple of months or so, but hopefully he'll do well, because he is starting to improve further. He's another one that's training well, so the odd sub appearance, the odd cup game, I'm sure it won't hurt him too much. Having said that, in this one, we've gone back to the tried and trusted. We've got a very unfit Harvey Lloyd on the bench for the first time since injury. Badebo on the bench for the first time since injury. Riley's missed a couple of games, he's back on the bench. And the rest of them just not match fit. It really has been a bit of a slapdash put together season. I just hovered over Tom Jones there so you could see how he was improving. But otherwise, it's about damage limitation. We've got to find a way to be in Europe after Christmas. It's important for the coefficient. It's important financially. Now let's go and see if we can do it. Joe Duffy so far outscoring Greg Pringle. Can he get into making it a competition? That's what I'd like to happen. Let's see if they can. So, we don't know any of the names, of course, they're not real players, but we've seen the quality that the greyed out team have got. So Sarajevo in Bosnia, a big trip across Europe, could be very difficult. An awful camera angle to start with there, and a very sparsely populated stadium. But into the first half we go. We don't just need to win tonight, we need to turn on the style, because we've been poor recently, particularly in Europe, as Brooks picks it up on the left, just 4 minutes on the clock. Morgan Boys has got it just inside their half. Chips forward, but not really to anyone. It was a bit aimless and he got cleared away easily. Harvey Lloyd gets it again to Boys. He goes inside to Price. He's got a chance to chip forward and he's up towards Duffy. Pringle can't get on the flick on and it's cleared away again. But it's a long highlight. It's sustained pressure, albeit not directed stuff. And that means it should lead to something special. And in that case, it was almost a goal from Greg Pringle. But a good save from the keeper and they get away with it. The first shot on target, the early dominance though. Both going to Bangor City. Can we take advantage of it though? We were in this position in Sweden. And now we're back as the Bosnians come forward. On the right side of the box, Lloyd clears it away to Pringle. Now can we counter with a 2-on-2? Pringle skins his man. Duffy's running off him. Gets into the box. Oh, they nearly brought him down. Just forced out wide. It goes back to Brooks. Brilliant finish from Ian Brooks. One of the stars, the 2 lone players that we've relied on for so long. And Ian Brooks with a composed finish. Makes it 1-0 to Bangor City. Great work from Duffy though. And we're back with a throw on the right hand side. Keegan Riley gives it to Broom. Loses out, but the clearance only finds Price. He can go down the line again. Here is Riley, the right wing back, to Price. 2 or 3 inside of him. Chips it up to Duffy. Down to Riley. In towards Pringle. There's 2 up with him, but he can't win the header. And now it's the Bosnians on the counter with Zalo down the left. Keegan Riley's chasing him. He's not making up any ground though. It's switched to play, but Weaver heads clear. Excellent defending, good positioning. Something we talk about a lot. Tom Jones gets it forward to Pringle. Beats one man, gets into the box. Really good work, but the finish just isn't there. He's not a fluent goal scorer at the moment. And he's not really getting those 2s, 3s, 4s that we're so used to seeing. So let's see if he can do it later on in this one. As Facic plays out to Ilinkovic, one of their star players. Picks it up in that deep line playmaker role. Poor ball out though. Broom intercepts for Jones. Through to Greg Pringle. It's a wide angle. And he's hit the post this time. 2 brilliant saves, 1 off the post. It's just not his night, is it? It's been a dominant display yet again. But my continuing worry is the fact that it's only 1-0. Will that come back to bite us? I just don't know. We've had 1 shot on target against us, but otherwise it's been a really confident display. And a win, I don't really care by what scoreline now. We've just got to get the job done. It's a throw on the left for the host. They get it down the line to Zalo. Left side cuts into Ilinkovic. 35 yards out to Facic. Into the right side of the box. Goes back to the right back. He's got time on the ball, but we're getting that pressure out. Ian Brooks supporting the fullback. It's chipped in though. There's no one there. And again, we end up suffering for the fact we haven't taken our chances. It's 1-1 with their second shot on goal. And this is becoming an infuriating season. We've had about 2 of them so far. The 3rd season we bottled everything. And about the 6th or 7th we nearly gave it away. But this one, it's just infuriating the way it's happening. I can't quite explain it or put my finger on it. That's the problem. As they're playing out from the back again, we could find ourselves behind here because we're in a bit of trouble. We're not keeping the ball well. We're getting counter-attacked pretty easily. And they've got themselves in down the left-hand side again. Avdic on the left-back area. Marauding forward with no pressure on him. Gets towards that byline. It's into the back post. Knocked down. And just over the bar. We are going to dig right into these lads. We're going to berate them. We're going to drop to balanced. Because at this point, we need to cling on for a draw. I'm not quite sure how we've got in this position. As again, they're attacking down the left. We haven't even got time to make subs now. Cross into the front post. It's missed by everyone. And just wide of the post by Javakovic. It should have been 2-1. What's happened in this half? They haven't changed tactic. It's all between the ears. And we're going to have to go and make some changes. So the one enforced change is Archie Wood for Lloyd, who wasn't allowed more than 75 minutes. We've also got Dean coming on and Williams coming on. Broom and Jones, the other 2 men, coming off. We're getting completely outclassed down that right-hand side. I might drop Riley to a defensive duty just for now to see if we can cling on. In fact, I'm going to do that on both. We'll go back to positive, but we'll keep the wing-backs back. Duffy drops into the number 10. We've got 20 minutes to go. And after a dominant first half where we missed countless opportunities, we've again got ourselves in trouble. We're going to encourage Greg Pringle as we've got a free kick at the back. Price chips it forward to Weaver. He's in the centre circle, cutting from that left back position to Williams. The experience in, but the through ball's intercepted. It doesn't quite reach its target of Pringle. As Riley finds Price at the back. Into Daniel Williams. Back to Riley again. We're looking a bit more direct now. But in this time, we're going back short as Brooks finds it into Duffy. There's 2 strikers up there. Williams is running off him. Duffy goes alone though. Puts it just over the bar. This is going to become a really costly result, I feel. I'm not quite sure we can afford to draw this, as Riley picks it up in the right back area. He's got a free kick. It's about 10 yards in the opposition half. To Williams. To Duffy. Looks good in that deeper role. Finds Riley again. Into Max Dean. Been a hero before. Finds Greg Pringle. What's he taking that much time for? He gets away with it. It's in for 2-1. My word, these boys are giving us a heartache today. Just put the ball in the back of the net. Eventually, Greg Pringle does. And against all the odds against Sarajevo, I'm about to say we're going to have to time waste. But it's not even that. We've come back for another highlight. Duffy clears downfield to Dean. Flicks on, but nobody's there. I'm going to regret not doing it sooner. Avdic picks it up at left back. We should not be clinging on in this game. It's a long ball forward. Price heads away to Brooks. Now he can counter. It's a 5-on-3. Brooks has got 3 with him. Goes back to Woods. Through to Duffy. Running through from the 10. But the flag goes up. VAR will rule it out. And in the meantime, let's just get the time wasting on and make sure we win this by 1 goal. I don't care if we win it by 2 or 3. I just want to make sure we don't draw it. 3 points could be crucial. Again, not done in style. But it's 3 points nonetheless. It's a start to our Europa League campaign. VAR rules that one out, but we've still got the lead into stoppage time. And thankfully, stoppage time is quiet. My manager on the touchline there, the avatar, did exactly what I wanted to do, which was just the arms thrown up as a sigh of relief. It was just about deserved. The first half, it should have been out of sight, but Greg Pringle got his goal. Hopefully that will help. Hopefully we can get confidence into the lads. But we need to be better. We've got TNS up next. And this is going to be crucial in the title race. We've got to play them in the SPFL Trust Trophy. We've got to play them twice in the league in the next month or so. We have to get on top against them. We'll go and see if we can do it, but we'll have to perform a hell of a lot better than that. I'll see you in a moment. We are back to face TNS, and I've got a feeling we're going to have some decisions to make fitness-wise. Badebo can only play 45, Lloyd 75 and Hankin can play completely. Holding not at all. But what are the players going to be like from Thursday night? It's only been 2.5 days. So let's see what they recommend. Everyone's fit actually. John Price has got a heavy match load, so we will start Badebo today. Otherwise, I don't think we're going to do too much. On the bench, we can get Jack Hankin back in. He'll replace one of the strikers, probably Max Dean based on form this season, you have to say. And in terms of midfield, can we bring Lacey in for one of the normal centre mids? I don't know. I don't actually know what the best option is here. We know that 2 of our subs are pretty much set in stone, so it doesn't leave much room for manoeuvre. Having said that, getting players back to fitness will be beneficial. We're getting moaned at that we've not got 2 under-19s in the squad, so we're going to have to make one change at least. Malone has generally got the better attributes. He's got the better star rating, but he's always been poor when he's come in. So I'm going to replace him with Carl Lacey. I know it's a controversial move, but that's what we're going to do. We've got Lacey in the squad, we've got Jones in the squad. The 2 young number 10s carrying the flag. But this is the 11 overall. It's just one change from the midweek win against Sarajevo. And that's Badebo in for the heavy match load of John Price. But even he can only do 45 minutes. So what we're going to do after that, I'm not quite sure. Let's get into the first half. Hopefully we'll have wrapped it up by half time. Wishful thinking, I know, but let's see if we can do it. That has reminded me, before we go, we'll have a look at the end of the Welsh transfer window, because there were a few good loan players coming into the country. The summer signing Dorian is in the team for TNS. They've still got loads of other players we recognise. Noah Daly, of course, one. Will Russ, the January signing. Tom Clifford still there, the skipper. It's going to be a tough test. We're going to tell the lads to do what they can. We're going to go and get into the first half. I am threatened to say that Christopher Broome, the new loan signing, is a disappointment. But it was about this time last year I started spewing that nonsense about Pringle. And look what happened to him the rest of the year. TNS playing this 5-4-1 that we quite often find hard to break down. But I think Dorian has just gifted us a penalty, their summer signing. Greg Pringle is going to take it, or is Joe Duffy? No, Duffy scored a hat-trick of them the other time. Let's give it to him. Please don't miss it. Please don't make me regret it, Joe. I'm going to half look. I'm going to try and look away. Duffy right-footed. Goal into the top corner. Keeper had no chance. 1-0 Bangor City. The gift we really needed to avoid a European hangover. Fingers crossed we can build on this and not give TNS a sniff. Well, it's been another pretty poor half. Lloyd puts a free kick in. We've only got 10 to the break. And I'm pretty sure that penalty is the only shot on target in this match. Riley gets it to Weaver on halfway as it's cleared downfield. Tom Jones finds Brooks. Can we get it in again? Oh, Duffy with a cheeky header. Tried to loop it over the keeper from the edge of the box. It's just over the bar. It says now we've had 4 shots on target. They've come from nowhere. But it is getting a bit tight at the top again. Barry again, a pretty clearly defined third. And it's us and TNS right up there. And as it stands, we're getting the edge in the title race thanks to a penalty and a gift early on. Because we haven't really earned it aside from that. Into the second half we go though. Another poor performance for Greg Pringle. Another one from Tom Jones in the number 10. We need to improve quick. Otherwise we're going to get caught out. As Morgan Boyce plays a free kick into Ian Brooks. Broome gives it away but gets lucky there. It's chipped forward to Duffy. He's in for 2 and he makes it 2. We'll give it 5 more minutes because we've got to take Badebo off, don't forget. But that is a really good start to the second half. 2-0, hopefully game over. We've just got to be solid from this point. As we come up towards the hour, we will take him off now. We can't afford any more risks in the squad. So Riley goes into centre half, Hankin on at right back. And half an hour to go. We've got to think about the other subs soon as well. Harvey Lloyd won't do the 90. And then we've got one where we can make our own choice. As Brooks gives it to Pringle. Left side of the box. Goes back to Brooks. Switches to Hankin, a sub. Oh, it's a brilliant strike. First time, caught me out on the commentary. Caught the keeper out between the sticks. And the defender never got near him. Jack Hankin with a super strike. Bangor City 3, TNS 0. What were we worried about? It's been a brilliant, comfortable display. Blackburn chips it forward for TNS. I'd really like to send a statement out here. Let's turn the season. Make it 4. Make it 5. Get Greg Pringle a goal as well while we're at it. Riley over the top. Duffy gets there. The keeper got caught in absolutely no man's land. What he was doing, I don't know. He's normally dependable back there, in fairness to him. But Lufra takes the blame. Duffy taps into the empty net. And TNS are crumbling. As we've got 20 minutes left, let's go and make a couple of changes. We'll take off Harvey Lloyd, who's got to have the rest. He'll be replaced by Daniel Williams. Duffy's got a hat-trick, and at the moment, he's the striker we've got to protect. I'm going to bring on young Carl Lacey, try and get him some fitness. I'm going to leave Jones in the number 10. Lacey will swap with Brooks, and then we're going to play it that way round. So, Pringle will become a poacher on the right hand side, Brooks will be the advanced forward on the left, and Lacey will go in the left of a midfield too, I think, although we might swap him sides with Broom. It's a really interesting moment for us against TNS, one of the first times in the league this season we've been able to rest players, as Duffy gets it to Hankin, in towards Pringle, headed away as far as Duffy, up for Jones, headed away to Scott, and now TNS can counter. We don't want a blemish on that clean sheet, as Scott gets down the right, there's two in the middle, at the back post they're unmarked, and Brooks makes a sliding tackle, gets the ball, it cuts mid-highlight, and we're back with a TNS penalty. What is happening since the last update? It's penalties galore, and Will Russ scores this one. 4-1 to Bangor City, and a bizarre moment at the back as TNS capitalise. 10 minutes on the clock, Weaver gets the ball on the left, plays into Brooks, the makeshift striker. He gets it back to the edge of the box to Williams, to Broom. He can go from here. Oh, we've not seen that from him much. The cartwheel in celebration was pretty nice. It looked a pretty good one as well. But the acrobatics beforehand to curl the ball into the corner were even better. Christopher Broom starting to look like a superstar. I told you at the start of this game, didn't I? He's disappointed, but we said this about Greg Pringle. And he's delivered right on cue. A 5-1 win for Bangor City. A wonderful performance in truth. Definitely one of our best, most efficient of the season. And after scraping 3 points in the Europa League group stages, it's lovely to find a little bit of proper form. Barrytown United and TNS look like making it a top 3 every year at the moment. We just need one of them to go big now. Joe Duffy with a hat-trick, we'll go and praise him. He was absolutely brilliant. And let's have a look at the schedule. When are we next going to be back? So due to the changes to the fixture schedule, we've got a little bit of a difficult run now. We've got TNS, we've then got Leisure Warsaw. We've got the difficult games every 2 basically. Because it was going to be Leisure and Barry, but that's now being sandwiched by Swansea Uni. We're a Newtown, they're 6th, so we might show that one. Because I'd like to show one of the Leisure Warsaw games. They're a big side, and it'll probably be quite good fun as well. And then, because we're going to be showing the final game, we want there to be a little bit of a break. So we'll come back for Newtown and Leisure Warsaw, or one of the other games with that Europa League match if the schedule changes. If you did enjoy this episode, the sneak victory in Bosnia, and the big one against the title rivals TNS, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories. We've got a new director of football to meet. We've got that transfer window to reflect on in Wales. We'll do that in the next episode as that TNS game dragged out a little bit. And then hopefully we'll be able to show you all of the quality in the league before we go into the big January window too. But if you want to stay up to date, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as daily videos released from 2 long-term stories, as well as a few other bits as well. And you can find a link to all the playlists in the eye above and a Twitch channel for regular live streams in the description below. A massive thank you for watching, your continued support of this series as always. And I'll see you next time. More big games in Europe to come. And will it be Europa League, Europa Conference, or no European football after Christmas? We'll get a bit closer to finding out next time around. I'll see you there.